This is the Eclectic Discussion Podcast.
Yeah, I love music. Obviously hip hop, R&B, some 80s rock. That's about it though. No bluegrass for me. Shouts to Charlie Pride. Anyway, the thing about me and music is for some reason, somehow, I always manage to end conversations or sentences rather with song lyrics or song titles. Like a normal conversation, someone will say something and it'll trigger a song lyric or a title, and I'll just blurt it out. I'll say it, I mean, in some respects it goes along with the conversation. In most respects it has totally nothing to do. Now, I'm not talking about the easy ones, like when someone says stop, say hammer time. Or if someone says domo arigato, you have to say Mr. Roboto. We all know this. But, it's some obscure references, some obscure songs that most people never heard of. And I catch myself a lot of times and I try not to say them. I think them, but I'll try not to say them. And a lot of times when I'm doing the podcast here or Cold Slither, I'll just not say them and I'll just say shout outs. That's where the shout outs started, because someone will say something like somebody else from something under, and I'll be like, well, shouts to Man at Work. But anyway, one day, now this is back in public transportation eclectic days. I think it was summertime. I had a summer job. I was catching a bus. So I was at the bus stop, and it was me, another guy, and two women. Now, one of the females was talking to the other one in a very animated fashion. She's what we would say the ghetto variety. She was going on and on about some injustice that happened to her via another female who clearly wasn't there. So she was going on and on, like, I told this bitch this, and she came to me, and then I told her that, and so what happened was, okay, if you've never heard the song I Ain't the One by NWA, by Ice Cube, it goes like this.
Ice Cube, do you think you give me some money to get my hair done?
What's wrong with your hair right now?
Well, I get it done every week, and I need my nails done too.
Look, I'ma tell you like this. I ain't the one to get played like a poop butt. See, I'm from the street, so I know what's up on these silly games that's played by the women. I'm only happy when I'm going up in them. But I'm a menace to society, but girls in biker shorts are so fly to me, so I step to them with aggression. Listen to the kid.
Okay, so that's all you need to know. That's all you needed to hear. So the woman was going on and on about, whatever she was flabbergasted and appalled by, when she was stymied with. And she was like, and I told that bitch I ain't the one. And so I heard this, and while being not anywhere near in the conversation, I just say out loud, da-na-na-na-na. And so the lady, she didn't, maybe she heard it, maybe she didn't. She didn't pay attention because she was busy spilling her guts to this other woman. And so I was just chilling, because really it was a reflex. It was just for me. But the guy that was standing there busted out laughing. See, so obviously he knew the song. And that's how my randomness brings people together. So we gave each other a nod, and the bus came in and we got on the bus. Anyway, look, today's show, we're going to talk about Saturday morning cartoons, late 70s, 80s, early 90s, I guess, who gives a shit. But there's going to be a lot of animated talk, much like the woman at the bus stop. So without any further ado, Hit my theme music.
Let's get it.
Only you will understand and appreciate what's about to happen.
Now this goes out to my people
Representing
E, a smooth operator operating correctly.
Now this goes out to my people
representing
Eclectic relaxation.
Now this goes out to my people
representing rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies.
E,
conceited bastard.
Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies.
Allow to introduce myself. You want the man.
Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies.
You said I'm not the E, you wanna make it burn.
Most critically acclaimed Pulitzer Prize winner, best storyteller, thug narrator. When I step up in the place, they know I step correct.
Girls, rub on your titties.
Got that head nod shit that make you break your neck.
E,
Look good but fuck ugly.
Wanna break it down so you can see.
My attitude is all fucked up in real city.
Wanna break it down so you can see.
I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous.
Wanna break it down so you can see.
You gotta get your groove on.
Wanna break it down so you can see.
I speak clearly so you can understand.
E,
The dopest, flyest, OG pimp, hustler, gangster, player, hardcore motherfucker living today. To be honest, I am totally and completely on his dick.
Yeah, there was nothing like Saturday mornings in the 80s. Yo, son, it was like the greatest thing ever. Yeah, you wake up at like 6 in the morning to watch the Jackson 5 cartoon. It was on the WGN Chicago channel. Like, nobody that I know knew when it came on. We just got up dumb early and it was on TV. Like, the thing back in the day, you didn't have internet and you had a TV guide maybe, but you really didn't know when everything came on to tell your friends. Nobody discussed this stuff like that. You just wake up and watch it. You had Jackson 5 joint come on. I had my whole lineup. 8 o'clock, Speed Buggy, and Super Friends. You had to turn the channel, you know, on the commercials or what was funnier or more interesting. You had to stay on there. The Flintstone Funnies came on, but I ain't play that repackaged rerun mess after that. Then like 8:30, Richie Rich, Pac-Man Hour. Those joints came on. Like Richie Rich would be on one channel, Pac-Man would be on another channel, like, you know, one or other, but it came on the same time the Shirt Tails came on, so I couldn't really get down with them like that. Man, if we had TiVo back then, it would have been crazy. Like, after Shirt Tails, Smurfs came on, so you had to watch Smurfs, and then Bugs Bunny. The Looney Tunes show, you know, Overture, Curtains Lights. Scooby and Scrappy came on, but really, I only did the after school Scooby-Doo and F Scrappy-Doo. He's awful. He's awful sauce. He's the worst part of that show. It should have had more Scooby-Dum, less Scrappy. The Mork and Mindy cartoon came on, Laverne and Shirley, when they were in the army. Then at 11 o'clock, it was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and I had a crush on Firestar. But that was dope because they have all the other Marvel characters on there, and they had that popping off, and everybody wanted to be Iceman. Then the one year they brought the Saturday Supercade and Dungeons and Dragons and the Dukes. I didn't watch because, you know, who wants to watch the Dukes? But on ABC, they had Rubik's The Amazing Cube, the Rubik's Cube cartoon. Just shuffle my dude up, had a big face. Then Alvin and the Chipmunks came on, that went off, and then Mr. T popped off with the gymnastics. And not to be outdone, he had the Mr. T cereal, which was the urban Captain Crunch. Fat Albert came on around 1 o'clock, like one year. F that. You had Super Friends, and now you had your different Super Friends, because then they had the legendary Super Power Show, which was whack, and then they had the Mighty Orbots, boo, and Muppet Babies came on at the same time, and then Turbo Teen. My man turned into a car. That was incredible. But you know what the joint was? Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair was the joint. That was hype. Pole Position had a cartoon. Shouts to the Atari video game. Kid Video. Man, like 80s, all kind of everything. It was something for everybody on there and every channel. Like wall-to-wall cartoons. Hulk Hogan's Rocket Wrestling came on at like 12 on NBC at the same time. Laser Tag Academy came on. I wanted to go on Laser Tag bad. I wanted to shoot people up. And then we go outside and girls would talk about the Wuzzles and Kissy Fur and Foofer and Pound Puppies and the Littles. I'd be like, man, get that biscuits mess out of here. Let's talk the real Ghostbusters, son. But Pee-wee's Playhouse, that joint, that came on. So you had your live things every now and then. So Pee-wee's Playhouse was my show. Shouts to Morpheus and the cowboy hat. Now I started going bad with the Alf cartoons and Galaxy High School and My Pet Monster. I'm like, get that mess off my screen. By like 89, I was done. The Ernest cartoons and Ed Gramley and Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters cereal though, that was dope. Damn Dink the Dinosaur and the California Raisins had cartoons. Now I did check for the Beetlejuice cartoon, and I tried Camp Candy because John Candy was hilarious. Captain N the Game Master I did watch. You had to watch that, and Saved by the Bell. But keep that Karate Kid cartoon whiteness. I did watch Bill and Ted cartoon for a second, and I checked in on the Kid and Play cartoon. Like, listen to all the cartoons that was out. I forgot Pro Stars. Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky had the cartoon, and the joint with the Harlem Globetrotters when they had the superpowers. Ridiculous. It was like, let's just make a cartoon about whatever. I'm like, bet. They threw it on. Garfield was dope. Again, shout outs to Garfield for mailing Nermal to Abu Dhabi. Bobby's World was funny. Shout outs to Bobby Generic. Oh, and besides the cartoons, so you had Laser Tag, you had WWF Wrestling, you had American Gladiators, like, son. Just like after American Gladiators and wrestling and Kung Fu Theater, then you were allowed to go outside. It was like then, and that was the thing. Everybody like would hit outside at the same time. You like Friday you hang out, and then it'd be like, you gotta go in. And then Saturday you see nobody, like nobody calls on the phone. Everybody watches cartoons, and then you just come outside at the same time when everything's gone off. Like I had a ritual, like boom. So I get up in the morning and I had, don't judge me, I had McDonald's, a McDonald's land bedspread. It had like all the McDonald's characters. This was pre-Birdie. We don't do that Birdie shit. It had Mary McCheese and who's the Captain Crook, the dude with the cookies, the pirate. I had all of those. It was just I don't know where it came from. I'm pretty sure I didn't come from actual McDonald's, like get proofs of purchases from fruit pies. But I wake up, get that, and I just lay it out in the living room. Spread it out. Then I get 2 pillows, boop, put them right there by the couch, and then you go get your cereal. And when you get your cereal, you gotta get your favorite bowl. Like, if my favorite bowl is dirty, I'm not eating cereal. I have to ask my mother to come wash it. I'm a kid, dick. I'm not washing. So I get my favorite bowl, and milk and a cereal and sit down and stuff with fat face and be in cartoon nirvana for about 6 hours. It's dope. Now, you younger folks, you got your Little Shop on and your Back to the Future and your Hammerman. Like, once the 90s hit, Saturday morning joints were fading away. Kids don't know Saturday mornings if you didn't live in the 80s with the 80s Saturday mornings. Anyway, that's what this show's about. Show's about the late 70s, the 80s, maybe the early 90s Saturday morning cartoons, the cavalcade. Shouts to the USA Cartoon Express and Left Olympics and Really Rottens and the Yogi Yahoos. But anyway, look, so that's what we're talking about. We're gonna have my man, Jay Gross, JG. He's gonna come through and we're gonna connect Politic Ditto on Saturday mornings. It's go get your bowl of cereal and your bedspread and your pillows and rock with us after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Saturday, march into a whole new lineup, starting with the original Cat and Mouse game on the Tom and Jerry Show. Next, it's 90 minutes of classic cartoon comedy on the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show. Then, ride into high excitement on the Tarzan Lone Ranger Adventure Hour, followed by the Rootin' Tootin' All-New Popeye Hour. Catch it Saturday.
Back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Eclectic Discussion Podcast with the hashtag in front, EDP style. Never mind that. That's not important. What is important is my guest. Take this time out to introduce my guest, Mr. Mobile Armor Strike Command. We'll talk about this mass movie later, no doubt. Mr. All 80s Everything. The man who held down the monkey while Peter Gabriel shocked it. Which in turn made the Thompson twins request to be held. At Soccer Flegels, rediscover the 80s. JG, J Jizzle, Jason Gross, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Eclectic? You brought it, man. That was awesome.
Hey, that's how it goes down. Way to hold down that monkey. So today's show, we're going to talk Saturday morning cartoons, late 70s, all 80s, maybe some 90s. Who cares about the 90s, really?
Early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. Back in the good old days when you would get up in the morning and just watch TV for hours on end. So I figured, who better to have on the show than Mr. Rediscover the 80s himself?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I figured, why the hell not? People might have heard you on the live draft that we did for fantasy football draft, and like I was saying,
I'm in first place by the way.
Oh, this thing is kind of nice, Brad.
At least for this week.
Yeah, at least for this week.
It's tight, man. It's tight.
You're doing an excellent job. Yeah, you're doing a really good job, and I'm not really doing a really good job. But you know, this kind of early. It's the halfway point, maybe.
If I had any quarterback play, I'd be like 8-1 right now. I got Matthew Stafford, and I got
Ben, right? No.
The dude from Buffalo.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. They've given me nothing all year, but I still managed to be, I think, tied for first. But it's been a fun league, man. I'm glad you put it together.
Yeah, we're gonna try to even make it a keeper. We're gonna try to keep this thing going. Yeah, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how he's doing this. He has Michael Turner. Darren Sproles doesn't even have a hand. He has every Steelers running back known to man. I don't know, but
the tight ends, man. It's the tight ends.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
That's what it is. It is. He's running the wishbone. He has Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates. He's running the wishbone in my fantasy football league. I got to get rid of these flex positions. Anyway, like I was saying before, the interns at Eclectic Discussion Podcast headquarters were clamoring to get you on the show, and we came up with the perfect title, and so we got to pop it off with the Saturday morning cartoons. Now, listen. Did you have a routine, a ritual, something you always did to prepare yourself to watch the cartoons on Saturday mornings?
Well, I think we all had the ritual of grabbing the cereal and heading out to the living room. I don't remember getting up too early. If I was up before 7, it was probably because I had to be up. I wasn't really motivated to really get up very early to watch cartoons, but I was usually up during, I think, the 7 o'clock hour, and of course I'd run out and you grab your cereal, you pour yourself the bowl, and you head out to the coffee table in the living room and watch the cartoons. Now I had those, you remember those yellow like Tupperware bowls? That were like, they were almost like ceramic because you drop them and they shatter.
Yeah, they shatter.
They were like plastic.
Right.
But we had like the full set of Tupperware, and that's one thing I really remember is grabbing those bowls. Or if those were dirty, we had those like woven like wood salad bowls.
Oh shit! Wow.
That was like the backup. So
the backup bowls.
If the Tupperware was in the dishwasher, you were grabbing those old wooden salad bowls for your cereal. But, yeah, I always grabbed it and went in and immediately turned on the tunes.
Yeah, see, I said earlier in the show that I would get up, and if I didn't have I had my go-to favorite bowl. If that bowl was dirty, I would have to wake up my mother. She would have to wash the bowl for me. I can't eat cereal in some other bowl. I had to have my bowl. And I had to get up. I didn't have to, but I got up at like 6 because somehow, some way, I knew when the Jackson 5 cartoon came on. And it was like 6 or 6:30, and it came on the WGN Chicago channel. And I had to watch the Jackson 5 cartoon, and that's the only thing that got me up early because I couldn't find it no other time.
It's a shame they put it on so early.
And I don't know what was going on. And I had, you get your bowl of cereal. I laid out a blanket on the floor in front of the TV and some pillows, and I'd be stuck there for hours.
Did you ever make the tent out of like we had this like futon that was a chair that you could lay out, like and stretch out on. It worked good, so you could like lean it up, and then you grab the blanket and the pillows, and then you make yourself a little fort.
You had to make the fort. See, this is it. Listen, you young whippersnappers. Look, you didn't grow up in the 80s. You don't know about the fort and the tent. You don't know about using your imagination with your newfangled internet and your DVD players. We didn't have any of that. We had to use our imagination. Now
we made it up as we went along.
Now I was talking the Jackson 5 cartoon, and what favorite shows, your cartoons on Saturday morning that you would not miss, you had to watch. What was your must-see shows? What was appointment television?
Well, the first one had to be the Smurfs. I had to watch the Smurfs, and they were on. It seemed like they were on like the whole decade almost. Right.
And it seemed that was the only cartoon that was like 2 hours long. It seemed.
Yeah. Well, if you look at that, a shout out goes to the website intheeighties.com, because they have like the ABC, NBC, CBS lineup throughout the whole 80s there. Mm-hmm. And if you look at where the Smurfs, each year, it went from like 1 hour, and then it went for 90 minutes for like 4 or 5 years straight.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And for a 30-minute episode, I mean, that's a lot of Smurfs.
Yeah,
that's one cartoon that I remember. I just had to get up and watch. I think it came on kind of later in the morning, but obviously, if it's on for 60 or 90 minutes, it's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah.
Another one that I really remember getting up and watching was Saturday Supercade.
Hell yeah.
Now, for those of listening that might not remember that, that's where you had all of, like the video arcade games of the time, all the characters from them, like you had like Pac-Man and Frogger, you had Pitfall Harry, Q*bert. Q*bert is one of my all-time favorites. And even though like there was only little mini episodes within I think it was just 30 minutes, it might have been an hour.
Yeah, the cool Letterman's jacket.
Yes, yes, it was almost like a 50s, town that he was in.
It was like Happy Days with Q*bert and Coily.
Yep. But that was another show I really remember at a younger age. I think that came on in '83, something like that.
Something like and then they tried to bring it back. Like the second season, they added Kangaroo, and with Joey, that wasn't so good. And Space Ace.
No, yeah, it's a shame that it didn't. I mean, it was a good concept, but they just kind of shot themselves in the foot, I think, when they took a couple of the other ones out and added more in. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, those were probably the main two. There's some others kind of mixed in, and like even in the early '80s, they were showing like the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner show, like the throwback. And the Pink Panther was a big one for me too. I love the Pink Panther.
Pink Panther was dope. Just the theme alone.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorites. What about you, man? What are some of your shows you woke up at 6 o'clock to watch?
Well, I had the Jackson 5, of course. Richie Rich. I liked Richie Rich for some reason. But one of my main shows that I had to always watch was Dungeons and Dragons. I used to love Dungeons and Dragons. That cartoon kicked ass. I didn't play the game because I wasn't, the actual game, because I wasn't some weirdo like Classic. But the cartoon, shots fired. But the cartoon was crazy. Let me think. Super Friends, of course. Dynamite. Anything on the USA Network, Cartoon Express was dope. Remember the Gary Coleman cartoon? He was like an angel. He was He was an angel, and he was sent down to Earth to help people. And
oh my gosh, I don't remember that at all.
No. Listen, pay no attention to what I used to watch. So it was It was a Gary Coleman cartoon, and I guess he died. I don't know. I guess he died, and
he came back to help people.
Yeah, he was an angel. I think it was called the Gary Coleman Show. And he was an apprentice angel. He was like and so listen, I kid you not. Somewhere it has to be on YouTube or something. But he had to come down
somewhere. There's always evidence out there.
Yeah, he had to come down to Earth to earn his wings, and he had to help people. And then it was another dude that tried to keep him from getting his wings and make the other people that he was trying to help make the wrong choice.
So this was like It's a Wonderful Life Part 2.
Yeah, it was
animated.
Yeah, it was the kid with the broken halo. Did you ever see that movie?
Not that I remember.
That was the Gary Coleman movie. It's the Gary Coleman hour. It was a Gary Coleman movie with TV's Benson, Robert Guillaume, and that was.
Benson was dope. I just actually caught an episode of that the other night.
Oh hell yeah!
There's one of those networks now that's on like, you got the local digital channels, and then they have like .2 and .3. One of them has it's like Antenna TV or something. Man, it's awesome.
Oh shit!
It's got like old reruns of like Three's Company and Benson and
the good old days.
Yeah, it's great.
Wait till we do the
Anyway.
we do the 80s TV podcast, me and Jason. But anyway, yeah, those shows, the Mr. T show.
Yes. I watched me some Mr. T now.
All right, with the gymnast.
Him and his gymnastic buddies. Yeah.
Okay. So that Shirt Tails, and
Yes, Shirt Tails.
Pac-Man. Remember the Pac-Man cartoon?
Yes.
Like
yes.
the ghost would come after him and bite him, and he'd get all salty in the face.
Yeah. But they comboed Pac-Man the first time he came out with the Rubik's Cube. You remember that?
Yeah.
On a mysterious night, Rubik's Cube appeared, bringing clarity. Rubik's Cube has changed everything in our lives. He's colorful, magical,
I was talking about that earlier. Like, he had the little blue gremlin face on the front, and then they mix him up.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did he go? And then he put him back together, and then his legs pop out. And
fucking ridiculous. That made no sense.
It was like Scooby Doo, but with a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. So dumb. Now, did you have a favorite lineup where you're like, okay, I'm an ABC show guy, or I'm NBC, CBS? Because it seemed like Saturday morning, it was either all cartoons or nothing. It was just cartoons on every channel.
Yeah. I never really had a jump from this to that, this show, because it seemed like there was, especially like with the Smurfs, so you're running, 3 episodes at 30 minutes, you're going to end up seeing some reruns. So you're always flipping. I was always flipping. I'm a channel surfer.
Yeah, I was
still to this day. So I never really had a lineup where I had to, I came in at 7 and watched Voltron and then turned over to Bugs Bunny. It was never anything like that. It was just all about trying to find something new.
Yeah, can you imagine if we had TiVo back then? I mean, you're just sitting there watching your shows and you're recording like 20 other shows that you can watch later on that day or the next day.
Right.
Oh my God.
We would never go outside, even though we were kind of like the last. I wrote an article for Underscoop Fire about like the last generation of outsiders. Because I remember I'd get up on Saturday morning, I'd watch my cartoons, but once it hit like lunchtime, I was outside.
Yeah, it was like, and it's funny because you would watch cartoons and then you would watch either wrestling or American Gladiators, and then you would go outside. And the funny thing was, when you went outside, every kid in the neighborhood came outside at the same time. It's like, all right, we watched all the shows, and now it's time to play.
Yes, exactly.
And then if you like looked outside and there was a kid out there, he clearly didn't have cable or TV or something. It's like, oh, that's the only reason why you're outside early, because your parents.
We'd all like run outside with the bed hair too.
Yes.
You could tell we just got done watching cartoons.
Exactly.
We're like ready to play.
Oh, those were the greatest times ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I used to.
Did you have a lineup?
Well, I kind of did. I would stick with like CBS. I would stick with CBS for a while because I knew the Smurfs was on NBC, and I knew they were going to be on TV for like forever. So the Smurfs were when the other shows were on commercial, turn to, because I knew they were going to be on. And so I would watch like the Super Friends, and then that would go off. Then I watch Shirt Tails, then that would go off, and then I would watch I would switch between like Muppet Babies or the Laverne and Shirley show, and then this is ridiculous. And then the Smurfs would come on, and so I watched the first part of the Smurfs, and then the Saturday Super K would come on the other channel, and then Dungeons and Dragons would come on. So I would switch from Dungeons and Dragons and Saturday Super K and let the Smurfs ride, because then Dungeons and Dragons went off at like 9:30, and then I would switch from Turbo Teen and Super Saturday K to the Smurfs. And then after that went off, I would go to the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner show. and Pole Position was on, and then after that went off, you go to Mr. T. Then after Mr. T went off, you would go to Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man, or Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and then after that, that's when wrestling and American Gladiators, and I had to watch Soul Train because I'm black. So that was good for like 2 or 3 years, but you know they started mixing up the shows. And Plastic Man. Oh, I forgot. One of the shows that I always had to watch, one of my favorite cartoons of all time, was the Captain Marvel joint, the Shazam. That was incredible. People don't even remember that came on TV, but that's my favorite DC comic book character. That cartoon was great. That cartoon rocked the balls. All right. So
Well, I remember it, but I don't remember much about it.
Oh yeah, they had the whole family.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm not gonna bore anybody that's listening about how dope Shazam was.
Listen, man, if somebody is listening and just listen to all those names you just rattled off there, and they're sleeping, they don't need to be listening to this show.
You know what? You make an excellent point, because damn it. Oh, and the old Marvel cartoons with the stop animation and Captain Captain America throws his mighty shield.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel ensues, then the red and the white and the blue come through when Captain America throws his mighty.
And you had the Iron Man. Oh, listen. Anyway.
We could go on for hours, dude.
Yeah, we really could. Now, all right, so I just named 312 shows. What shows did you watch, or your friends? What shows did your friends like but you didn't like? What were the popular shows, or any cartoons that your friends liked but you didn't like, or vice versa?
Well, I was the first one that came to mind that you said you liked, that I never really got into, was D&D. I was never a big Dungeons and Dragons person. Whether it was the cartoon or the board game or whatever. I had a couple friends that were into it. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into it. That and Dragon Slayer.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I kind of grouped those two together for some reason.
Yeah, because they can both have dragons in it. Well, see,
Right.
I always thought that Dungeons and Dragons was for people, that were going to kill their classmates. So I didn't get down, and I didn't wear glasses. So I thought it was for nerds or people that were going to kill their classmates. So
yeah, I like playing sports, so
exactly,
it was just not. I don't know. Just wasn't in my radar.
But see, the cartoon was something totally different. The cartoon was like, it was like 80s. It was like 80s cartoon Hunger Games. It was dope because you had Hank the Ranger, Eric the Cavalier. Eric the Cavalier was a spoiled dude. He was a jerk. He was like a rich dude. And then you had Diana and Presto the Magician. He was like a nerd. He was like Brainy Smurf. And then Sheila the Thief and Bobby the Barbarian, this little kid. And they just go on these missions. And they was like, they just go do shit. And then they had this little dungeon master that looked like Bob Newhart. Or Rich Little. So he would be a little old dude and give him like the lesson for the day. And if you watch it, like if you go on YouTube and watch episode, it'd be dope. Now the other thing that was hot about it is, like, back in the day, they would actually, it wouldn't really be violent, but they would try to, like, they would be like, we should kill this dude. And they were like kids. Anyway, but all right, I'm gonna stop. What other shows did people like that you weren't really up on?
Now I did have a friend that I remember going over to his house. This was later in the 80s, when Captain N the Game Master came on.
Welcome to Videoland.
Wake up, Kitticulus.
Welcome to Castlevania.
It's Congo Land.
My brain will get you, little princess.
Princess, the palace is under siege.
Behold, the ultimate warp zone.
Kevin, I thought I told you to clean up your room.
Captain N, the Game
Yes,
Master.
another Letterman's jacket.
This show just annoyed me to death, and you know why? It's because of the Mother Brain character just constantly screaming at you the whole episode.
Oh my God, that voice.
Princess Lana is a fool to think I would accept peace on her terms.
Yeah, it was just that voice. It was just, I couldn't watch it.
The only peace I'll accept is a piece of Videoland.
I mean, it was cool and everything. You know, obviously everybody's into Nintendo.
Yeah.
And the dude has like a Nintendo controller for a belt that can, you know, do crazy stuff with. And he's got the zapper, you know, as a holster. But that show just, I couldn't watch it. And they just loved it, you know.
Yeah.
And then the Game Boy came in too. You remember that? I think it was like the second season. The Game Boy came in, and I was like, "What does this guy do? He just like flies everybody around, you know?"
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end. Shout outs to Frank Welker for doing the voice of the Game Boy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
That dude was in every show.
He was in every single cartoon in the '80s. He had to be.
He was Megatron, right?
Yeah.
And I think he had a couple people in G.I. Joe, and yeah, there's a couple guys like that just, you know, every other cartoon show in the 80s, they had a voice.
Frank Welker was Megatron, he was Skywarp, he was Soundwave, he was all the cassettes, he was Mirage. I mean, and that's
just like half the show.
Yeah, that was just Transform. You just go in a booth and talk to himself. He was Fred and Scooby Doo for a little bit.
Oh, he was Dr. Claw too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was in Inspector Gadget.
He might have been. I know he was Garfield for a little bit. He was Muggsy on the Looney Tunes joint.
Imagine this guy being your friend, you know. Hey, Frank, do Soundwave.
As you command, Megatron.
Exactly. I mean, he would never. He'd get tired of me. I'm like, come on, you gotta do it. Come on. They don't believe it's you.
Put it on your answering machine too, man.
Hell yeah. Like, come on, you gotta do Laserbeak. And Laserbeak didn't even have a fucking voice, but he did Laserbeak. That's incredible.
The sounds, yeah.
And I think that the annoying as Mother Brain, I think that was a guy that did that voice.
Really?
I'm 95% sure.
Wow.
I want to say that it was you know who he was? He was the singer for the Four Tops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Levi Stubbs.
Wow.
Yeah, the lead singer of the Four Tops annoyed our entire childhood by being Mother Brain. Yeah.
Oh man.
What
about you? What were some of your shows that you just couldn't stand?
Well, I couldn't get down with the Mork and Mindy cartoon. I didn't like that.
I didn't like any of those crossovers.
I didn't mind Laverne and Shirley at first. It was okay when they were in the army. That was okay. I'm trying to think of something that people really liked. The girls liked the Munchie Cheese. I couldn't watch that. I couldn't. The Fawns. I didn't want to see that. Marmaduke. I couldn't watch Marmaduke. What is something big that people liked that I didn't like? Oh, I didn't like the Snorks, and I didn't like the Mighty Orbots either. Take that, classic. Fucking Mighty Orbots.
I was never a Snorks fan either.
Yeah, they were fake Smurfs. Nobody wanted to see that.
Right.
It was nobody wanted to see those. So, and anything that had to do with Scrappy Doo.
Uncle Scooby? Hi, I'm Scrappy.
I couldn't watch Scrappy Doo at all.
Now, see, I could stand him enough to watch an episode of Scooby Doo just because Scooby and Shaggy were in it.
Nah, I couldn't do it. But you know one cartoon character that I hate to no end is Chilly Willy.
Chilly Willy the Penguin.
I cannot stand that little twerp. So anytime Chilly Willy came on, I had to turn the channel. I couldn't do it. Okay, so we had the cartoons, and on Saturday mornings back in the days, they would have we would watch cartoons from forever, from literally 6, well, in my case 6, to noon. That's 6 hours of cartoons. that's almost a shift. It's almost a working day of cartoons. But then after those went off, you would have your live action shows. So you would have your Pee-wee's Playhouse and Saved by the Bell. Your live action shows. Which shows did you like to watch after the cartoons? And that sweet spot right before you went outside and when the cartoons went off.
Well, I did watch Pee-wee. Now, Pee-wee, I think, was a little bit earlier. He was maybe around the 10 o'clock area when he came on. I loved me some Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Playhouse, right.
That was just I don't know.
Did you watch the stage show last year?
No.
He brought the show back.
I heard, yeah.
And they put it on, I think it's HBO. And he did the whole show live on stage, and and it's on TV, and it was exactly like he brought back the old actors. Now Morpheus wasn't on there as Cowboy.
I was gonna say was Fishburne there.
No, I sure do wish I had a new pair of boots.
Wish? Did somebody say wish?
Cowboy Curtis did, Johnby. He needs a new pair of boots. Would it be all right if I gave him my wish?
Sure it would, Pee-wee. But you only get one wish a day. Are you sure you want to?
Yes, I'm sure. Doing something for someone else will make me feel good.
All right, then. One pair of cowboy boots coming up. What size?
Size 12, double E.
Boy, big feet.
Well, you know what they say.
No, what?
But big feet, big boots.
No, he wasn't.
I couldn't see him in a cowboy outfit ever again.
No, but all the other people were there, and all the puppets, Cherry and Magic Windows, Magic Screen, and the window. Oh, they were all there. You gotta see it. I think it might be on Netflix. But anyway,
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, Pee-wee was one of my favorites, and then I don't know when. I think it was like 89 when Saved by the Bell came on. I remember watching some of those shows later in the later 80s and early 90s, more so than when I was younger. Because when it was I remember going out even before 12 o'clock, maybe about 11. That was when you shut it off and went outside. But Saved by the Bell, I was huge into Saved by the Bell. That was, that's got to be like 89 when that started. And
yeah,
then,
I think so. Hey, shout outs to Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
And then the other one I really remember watching was NBA Inside Stuff.
Oh, shout outs to Ahmad Rashad.
Yes, and that was one I had to catch. First, it was with was it Willow Bay? Willow Bay was first, and then it was I started tuning out when Summer Sanders came on.
Yeah, even though she was high. Oh, and again, shout outs to Robert Earl Moore. For those that don't know, that was Ahmad Rashad's name before he changed it. A lot of people don't know he changed his name.
But that show was, it was just fun, man, and they did a little bit of everything. I still have a VHS tape of like the bloopers, the basketball bloopers it's with Ahmad and with Willow Bay.
Remember that episode he had Shaq on there and he shattered the backboard on him?
Not right off the top of my head, I know.
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah. They had a bloopers episode?
I don't know if it was an episode, if it was just like a special, because they brought Marv Albert on, and Marv used to be like the blooper king.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then so they did some like inside stuff bloopers, and then they did some just like regular NBA bloopers. I got to fish that out somewhere, but I just wore the heck out of that one.
Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Where they would, like, the refs would say something stupid, or people would miss dunks or pass the ball out of.
Basically.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were funny.
Yeah, there was one blooper where they're in studio. Remember, they had the basketball hoop in the studio, and Ahmad, he was supposed to go up and dunk it, and he just totally bricks the thing and it goes straight up in the air. Now that was a blooper, man. It was hilarious, but and the rim is like what, like 7 feet?
Yeah.
And he totally bricks it.
Somehow I think he lost his card that show.
Well, then the big thing, it was probably lasted for, I want to say, at least 2 episodes where he actually joined the Timberwolves. Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, I don't understand what was going on back then.
That was crazy, but he like was able to join the team, and they put him through practice and all the drills and everything, and they put him in for one play. They had like Ahmad's one set play. You're going to go in the game and you're going to take one shot, and then we're going to call a timeout and get you out of there. And he hit the shot, though. You got to give him some credit.
Yeah, I remember watching that, like, what is going on?
But those are the couple shows I remember watching. I did watch some Gladiators now because my dad was a huge fan.
Hell yeah, Gladiators.
And I was huge into wrestling back then as well. I mean, shout outs to Hulk Hogan's Rock and Roll Wrestling. Yeah. That was one of my favorite when it was the cartoon, even though it didn't bring over any of the voices.
None of
the voices matched up, which is screwed up that whole show.
And not only that, was like the bad guys, by the time the show came out, like the bad guys weren't really the bad guys in wrestling anymore.
Right. They had already made the flip to being a good guy, or good guys going to bad guys, and the cartoon didn't match up very well. But
and shout outs to Brad Garrett for doing the voice of Hulk Hogan on Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
No kidding, I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He was Hulk Hogan.
It's so obvious now.
Yeah, once you say it, yeah.
Wow, yeah, I can totally. Cause I just posted up an episode like a couple weekends ago on Rediscover the '80s, and I can totally hear it now.
Yeah, and TV's Uncle Phil was the JYD.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are full of like
bullshit, useless. I only know.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, because like he was Uncle Phil. He was Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right.
Too.
I knew he was Shredder. Now.
Yeah, he was the.
I didn't realize he was the JYD as well.
Yeah, he was JYD.
Uncle Phil.
What was it? James Avery? Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
And he was War Machine too in the Iron Man cartoon, but whatever. Yeah, those were good times. Good times,
man.
Okay.
So what were your shows?
My shows, same as yours. I had to watch the WWF. I had to watch that because it was wrestling, and the cool thing about that was on Saturday, right before Saturday, afternoons like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then later on that night, you had Saturday Night Main Event came on right around Saturday Night Live time. So you had bookend wrestling. So I had to watch the wrestling. I watched Saved by the Bell because it had women on there. I didn't really care about Zach. And of course, Gladiators, because the women on there was incredible. They had breast implants and muscle legs. And that's I cherish those types of things. So those I didn't like that storybook stuff that they would try to. It like Story Break or something. They try to teach you a lesson. I couldn't watch that. But inside stuff, I had Soul Train. And I think it was something that came on MTV. I forget what it was, but I think I turned to MTV a couple of times for something. Maybe videos were on, back when MTV showed videos. Or
early on, were you, okay, so here's the question.
Yeah.
Were you a Sesame Street guy or were you a Pinwheel guy?
Neither. Electric Company.
Oh,
that's
okay.
where I was with mine. I was Electric Company. When it came down to learning, I was Electric Company, and I was Mr. Wizard.
Mr. Wizard, yeah. Now, I remember watching Mr. Wizard, like, it was on right before I left for school.
And Great Space Coaster. Those were that's where I stayed. Electric Company, Mr. Wizard, and Great Space Coaster, and 321 Contact.
Yeah. You hit them all then, man.
Yeah. But I mean,
PBS, shout out.
Yeah, shouts to Coastal, the podcast, did a PBS episode a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, I heard that one.
Yeah, so yeah, those were good. I never got into Pinwheel though.
I was big into Pinwheel.
What was Pinwheel about? What did they do?
And it wasn't that I didn't like Sesame Street because I watched a good bit of that as well. But I remember watching a lot of Pinwheel. And then, in between the breaks, you had Bill Cosby come in with the picture pages.
Oh, all right. You get 10 EDP points if you can name the marker.
It's Ichabod. Oh crap! Mortimer Ichabod Marker.
There you go. 10 fresh EDP points going to my man Jason Gross right there. Mortimer Ichabod Marker.
Oh, man, I don't know how I pulled that one out of my butt.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Anyway,
nice.
So we're way off track, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, who cares? I mean, it's the EDP. We do what we want. Okay. All right, so we're going to hit rapid fire pick 3. So, pick three of your favorite Saturday morning cartoon themes.
All right, this one took me forever because there's just so many. Each show had a killer theme.
Oh, definitely.
There was only maybe a handful that you could say were just total crap. But I liked the themes that had the kind of little intro before you got kind of into the music. Mm-hmm. So one of them is Voltron.
From days of long ago. From uncharted regions of the universe comes a legend. The legend of Voltron, defender of the universe. A mighty robot, loved by good, feared by evil. As Voltron's legend grew, peace settled across the galaxy. On planet Earth, a galaxy alliance was formed. Together with the good planets of the solar system, they maintained peace throughout the universe until a new horrible menace threatened the galaxy. Voltron was needed once more. This is the story of the super force of space explorers. Specially trained and sent by the Alliance to bring back Voltron, defender of the universe.
I love Voltron. And of course, you got Peter Cullen, who did Optimus. He's the narrator of the show. Mm-hmm. And he gives that whole little narration at the beginning of the show. And then you kick into the Voltron theme and everything coming together. That was one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I had to go with the Muppet Babies, man, because it had that
Muppet
whole,
Babies.
Like, yeah, it had that whole like 50s flavor to it, and it just stuck in your head, man. I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there that are like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" But I mean, yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. I liked it too. And then we mentioned before the Pink Panther.
Yeah, definitely. Now let me ask you this question. If you had to imagine it, if you had to say it out loud, what do you think Nanny looks like?
What do I think Nanny looks like?
Muppet Babies. All we saw was the green and white striped
Well,
socks. What do you think she looks like?
Yeah.
You think she's a piece of ass?
No. See, I always thought of Nanny as like my grandma.
Mr. D?
Something tells me she's a hot piece of ass.
I do not see it with those socks, man.
I think you go up those socks and then it's like, give me more. It's at the end of those socks.
Oh man.
At the very
Dream on, man. That's all I gotta say.
At the bare minimum, Barbara Billingsley. I'm telling you.
EDP loving on Nanny.
Hey, well, let the record show that Barbara was the voice of Nanny. So.
Yeah. Okay.
It goes. It's possible.
I don't know, man. Those are some chicken legs, man.
Yeah, you sure. Oh, and speaking of Frank Welker, who was also Baby Kermit and Carmela and Beaker. He was everywhere. He was every fucking where.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. 3 shows you wish were back on TV. 3 cartoons you wish they would come back.
Well, the first
besides Mask.
Yeah, I'm not going. I haven't even gone to Mask yet, but that wasn't really a Saturday morning cartoon either. That was a USA Cartoon Express show.
Yeah.
But I think they could bring back like some form of like Saturday Supercade, where we got the like new video game characters and have like little episodes. I really think that could work. You got to bring the Muppets back somehow. I don't know what Disney's doing with these guys. I mean, obviously they're making some movies, but you either got to bring back a Muppets cartoon or the Muppet Show.
Oh, they
need to
Muppet
do it like
Show.
now.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because I mean, I kind of felt bad. Did you watch the new Muppet movie?
I did not see the new Muppet movie. Was it any good?
It's sad, man, because it's like they're like in retirement and they go back to like the studio and it's like all dusty and dirty and you feel bad for them, man.
Oh no.
It's like, where have they been? They need to be back. I mean, that was just some great television. I mean, you had the musical guest that came on. I mean, it was just such a great show.
Statler and Waldorf in the balcony.
Yeah, but anyway, the third, I was not too big on the new Smurf movie, but I really think they could just come back with a cartoon like today, and kids would love it.
Yeah, kids would love it.
I don't know how many. There had to have been over at least like 200 episodes of the Smurfs produced.
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, they need to bring the Smurfs back.
Okay.
They should have never left. Put it that way.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were gonna leave when they were on all damn day in the 80s.
But it was good though, man. They did them good. They did it right. I think at least.
I can agree with that.
And you always, I mean, there was just a Smurf for every person. No matter what kind of personality you had, there was a Smurf.
Oh, definitely.
That was your favorite.
Yeah.
So, all right, what about you? We got to hear something from you, man.
Shit. Shows to bring back. I would enjoy if they brought back the Shirt Tails. I thought the Shirt Tails was dope.
I like the Shirt Tails now. I have. I put a picture up when Underscoop Fire did their little sticker brigade. You remember that? That was a few months ago. My picture that I sent in, I had the Shirt Tails. They were like these molded plastic figures. They're like all white, and it came with the little paint set, with the little, 5 or 6 little drums, and you painted them yourself. I found those. There was 3 of them: the raccoon and the panda and the orangutan.
Yeah, shout out to Bogey. That was my dude.
And I put the Underscoop Fire sticker right in the middle of those. Man, I was so proud I found those. It was a great show. It was like, I got a couple boys, so I've been watching like new cartoons. But if you've ever watched now it's gonna slip my mind. Wonder Pets. Okay.
Wonder Pets.
Yes, there's this show on Nick Jr. called The Wonder Pets, and it's these. It's like a guinea pig and a turtle and a duck, and they have this little boat that flies, and they go and like rescue other animals. And it's so much like Shirt Tales, not funny, because you got the whatever. Like, they had some kind of vehicle that like could transform into like a boat, and then they go and solve. The new show isn't like solving crimes or whatever, helping the park ranger, but it's so similar to it. It's probably one of the better ones they got on Nick Jr. nowadays, at least from my dad perspective. But but Shirt Tales, man, I'm with you on that one. Bring it back.
Yeah, I wonder if they ever came out with the STS SST. That was their deal. It was the Shirt Tales Supersonic Transport.
The Supersonic Transport.
Yeah, it was like a boat, and then there was a jet, then there was a car, then there was a submarine.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then the Shirt Tail, for people who don't remember too, like their shirt would change, they put a word on the shirt, it would change to like whatever they were feeling or something.
Yeah, their
right?
emotions. Yeah, because originally they didn't even make that a cartoon to make it a cartoon. It started off as Hallmark cards, like greeting card characters.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a line of cards, and then they were like, "Fuck, let's make a cartoon out of these people." That's what.
They must have been selling some cards.
Exactly.
Let's cash in, man.
Yeah. So I would go Shirt Tales. I would go Hong Kong Phooey. I would.
Yes.
Bring back Hong Kong Phooey. Number 1 super guy. You have to say number 1 super guy. At the end.
I still have a small. I was in a Disney store one time. The only thing I bought in the whole store, it was a Warner Brothers store. Cause I think he was Warner Brothers.
Oh my god.
I bought a Hong Kong Phooey little plush guy.
And you still got it?
Still have it.
Oh, that's dope.
Love Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah, if they could bring that back, that would be dope. And this is something obscure, something that they would never ever bring back. Richie Rich, bring back Richie Rich because he was a kind of a dick. He was
kinda.
Well, come on. He was rich, so people, he was a little spoiled brat, and he had his dog. Shouts to Dollar. So yeah, bring back. Those would be my 3. Bring back Richie Rich too.
What was the butler?
What was the butler name? It was like, wasn't it like Cadbury?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was classic. Didn't he put out like the top 10 butlers of all time or something?
Yeah, but no props to him because he forgot. Tony Maselli.
Oh wow, he did.
Yeah, he forgot Tony Maselli. I told him about that.
Wow.
How dare he? How dare you, sir?
Minus 2 EDP points for that one.
Exactly, and I'm keeping a tally. All right. So, all right.
Who's the boss, baby? Who's the boss?
Exactly. And shout out to listen to lineup. So, all right, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back, and you know what's next? The fifth. The 5th is next after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Convert switchblade to jet mode. Surprise, Matt Tracker. It's mayhem. Battle station. Protect the decoder, Bruce. I'm going up. Stacks ready to fire.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino.
Fire!
Each sold separately with action figure.
Cover me, Matt. 10-4. Sato's getting away. But you're not, Mayhem.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino. Each sold separately. New from Kenner.
Back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. It's the EDP with the hashtag in front. Looks like waffles. Look, we're talking Saturday morning cartoons, late 70s, 80s, no 90s. Okay, early 90s. You know, shouts to Saved by the Bell. It's not a cartoon. I'm here with my friend Jason Gross. Rediscovered the 80s. Suck Flegels. All 80s everything. He knows every song by the Thompson Twins. This guy's incredible. And
I don't know about every song.
Every single song. He knows every.
I know the important ones. How about that?
He knows all the Thomas Dolby joints. He knows.
Have you ever seen the like synthesizer showdown from like the 85 Grammys? Have you ever seen that video?
I have not.
All right, the listeners, pause the show, go to YouTube, and search for like 85 Grammys, and you got like Thomas Dolby, Howard Jones, you got Herbie Hancock.
Oh, Herbie Hancock.
You got there's one other person. There's like four, and it's just like total like guitar synthesizer like death match.
You know
it's
what?
It's great.
It seems like I saw that when it really happened.
I think it was 80. It was like 85 or 86 at the Grammys, and they just totally.
You know what? I
ripped it
remember
up.
seeing that.
Awesome.
I remember seeing that. I'm going to put that on the show notes. Everybody,
do it.
You have to get down with that. So now we're going to hit the fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time for the fifth.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. What was the top 3 cereals for perfect Saturday morning cartoon viewing?
All right, for me, the 3 I got are Fruity Pebbles.
Nice.
Cookie Crisp.
Perfect.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I cannot
those
argue. I can't argue with those 3. Those are strong 3 right there.
And I remember when Cinnamon Toast Crunch actually came out. It was like it was mid 80s, and it was like the only cereal I ate for like about 6 months. Love me some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, if I had to go 3, I would probably go with Rocky Road.
Okay, yep. Can't deny that.
Ice cream cones. Shouts to Ice Cream Jones, the mascot. And
E.T.
No, not E.T. I would do Mr. T before I do.
That thing probably tasted like what E.T. would actually taste like.
Skeevy.
Delicious. It's nasty. It was supposed to be like peanut butter, but it was like, ugh.
Yeah, I couldn't
it's
imagine.
Like, smelled like an alien.
Oh shit! That was the Bengals follow-up single. I think that's what that was.
That cereal was so bad it was worse than the Atari 2600 game.
Oh, shouts to landfills. Yes. And ironically, I do have in my possession a ET Atari cartridge.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I am a ridiculous individual.
Been digging in landfills, haven't you?
Clearly. Obviously, I dug to China when I was little, so why not fucking landfill for an Atari game? All right. Okay. Question number 2. Best or most memorable cereal prize? So you dig down in the cereal to get the prize. What is the one or a couple that you remember that you loved or you had or that you hated?
Well, two that I remember the most. One were the rings. The little it had a picture on it.
Mm-hmm.
There was tons of different things. It was a round ring, and you moved it side to side, and it changed. Remember those? I don't know what you call them.
Those weren't the Dakota rings.
I don't know if you call them Dakota rings or whatever, but I remember there was some, because I have some for Mask, and you turned it one way, it was the dude, sitting on the motorcycle. You turned it the other way, and he was in the helicopter.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
So it was the one, you rub your fingernail on them, and they make that, kind of scratching sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember those, and then the one thing I do remember that I kept for a long time and actually took to school were the Garfield pencil toppers. And you get it, and it was like in a couple of different pieces, and you put it together, and then like Odie, for instance, you stick him on your eraser, and then you moved his tail up and down, and it moved his tongue.
Yeah, the tongue move. Yeah.
So those are the two I remember pulling out of the cereal boxes.
Those kick ass. Yeah. Shout outs to Captain Crunch and the submarines that ran on baking soda or baking powder.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I thought of another one.
What's up?
You remember the Tony the Tiger? You stick in a 2-liter bottle full of water,
mm-hmm.
and you squeeze the 2-liter bottle, and he'd go down to the bottom, and then you let go, and you go back up the top.
Yeah, you go
remember
back
that?
up. Yeah.
That one, I remember. That one just came to mind.
Those rocked. And the honeycomb cereal that gave you all of the bicycle license plates.
Yes.
The bicycle license plates. And
I had a couple of those.
And the wacky wall walkers. You can't forget the wacky wall walkers.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Those things were. They make the. I don't know if we had them back then, but the little sticky hands that you just slap on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
My boys came home. I think they got it at school out of the little treasure box or whatever. And they're going around the house and like throwing those little sticky hands against the wall, and there's like this huge like glop of grease. They're like all over, and you could tell, they hit it there, and they hit it in this room and that room, and but I don't remember the wall walkers being that like nasty.
No.
They just get dirty, And here was the whole fallacy of that you could. Put it under your faucet, rinse it off, and it was good as new. Yeah. It never was.
Absolutely.
Come on. You get dirty, it was done. It was done.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Question number 3. Very simple question. Disney cartoons and characters or Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Hanna-Barbera.
Oh,
hands down.
Hands down, easy.
Well, yeah. Well, for me at least, you had Hong Kong Phooey and Scooby Doo and Tom and Jerry. I mean, the list. I'm sorry, Disney, but when it goes to like Saturday morning cartoons, it was Hanna-Barbera.
I agree completely.
Captain Caveman.
Oh, Captain Caveman. Yes.
He was Hanna-Barbera. And then, of course, you had, like, the Jetsons and, the classics as well.
No, definitely. All right, I'm down with that. I like that. Okay. Question number 4. Simple F, Marry, Kill. We know the rules of F, Marry, Kill, right?
No.
Well, all right, you get 3 names. 1, you have to F. 1, you have to marry. And 1, you have to kill. Very simple. I'll give you a test run.
Okay.
I'll give you a sample quiz. Jessica Biel, Jennifer Aniston, and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Can I group them all in one category?
Absolutely not. Then it is no fun, sir.
All right. Beale is kill.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't. She's just not it to me.
Okay.
What were the other two? Johansson and Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah.
Aniston's more the housewife now, so she's the Mary. And you do the math on the other one.
All right. I'm fine with that. Okay. So now, question.
Black Widow. Yeah.
Oh, you're damn right. So question number 4. F, Marry, Kill. Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, dear God.
Wilma Flintstone. Or Jane Jetson. Go ahead.
Jane Jetson is dead.
Oh, Jane, no. Jane stopped this crazy thing.
Velma and who else?
Velma and Wilma Flintstone.
Wilma. Oh. Ugh.
Oh, no.
I don't know. See, I was the Daphne person, so. But Wilma, that's just disgusting.
Oh.
All right, so Wilma's got to be the Mary.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna
Velma
get some
would be
more
more
of
my
that.
age, I guess.
You gotta get your groove on.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
Jason's getting some
roller coaster on that one.
hot Velma action. We're gonna put that on tape.
Keep the glasses on.
That's it. And the orange sweater. Okay. The 5th and final question. Question number 5. All right, now you gotta put your thinking cap on.
Okay.
What would you rather do? Okay? Or rather have? You got a choice of 2. 1. You gotta run a half marathon wearing nothing but a beret, sparkly suspenders, and cowboy boots that is filled with mayonnaise and baby vomit.
Okay.
Or
You wouldn't even have to put the mayonnaise and baby vomit in there. Running in cowboy boots.
no, you have to have it. You know, it'll help your aerodynamics. Okay.
Little cushion.
Yeah. Or, because you don't have to do that, or be married in a fully committed relationship and in love with a woman who looks exactly like Alex Sector from Mask.
Oh, you got me, man.
You gotta pick.
So he'd be looking like Jeff Bridges, huh?
Exactly.
She.
Yeah, she looked. Yeah, she looked like she's about to.
I think I would have to. I think I have to run the marathon on that one. I'm not that in love with Mask. Sorry, Wyatt. My partner in crime. Alex Sector. Oh my gosh.
You just wake up in the morning. Okay, I appreciate you.
That was total left field. That was great.
I appreciate you answering my questions. Look, at this point, this is part of the show where I like to give my guests the mic where they can do plugs and shout outs and say how good my show is and do whatever you want to do and say whatever you want to say to the people that are listening. The floor is yours.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and this has been a blast, dude. I mean, I told him, I told Ian during the break, I've probably gone off my notes about a dozen times, it seems like. So that's the key to a good show right there. You get the guests to go off their notes. So y'all can find me. You can go on Twitter. My personal is Sock of Fleagulls. Just take flock of seagulls and turn it around a little bit. And then you can find, I call it a blog site, because it's a blog and then I do a little bit more than the blog. But just go to rediscoverthe80s.com, 80s, and just hang out, man. I try to put up a few posts a week now. Everything from just cartoons and just 80s pop culture. I just kind of let my mind go to wherever and just blog about it. So come on over. We do some contests and stuff on the Facebook page, and if you go just to the main page on Rediscover the 80s, you can, hook up with all the social media stuff. Because pretty much you got a blog now, or you got a website, you got 500 different, social media areas. So hook up with me there, and then I've got a streaming radio station. If you like 80s music, head on over to the TuneIn radio app. You can get it for your smartphone or tablet or whatever, and punch up Rediscover the 80s radio, and you get 80s music 24/7. So we do some fun stuff on there. We do some playlists that have special themes, like girl names in the song and animal names in the song, and songs with dream in the title. So it's fun stuff. We have a good time there. And then finally, we'll give a shout out to another side project I have, which is bringing back Mobile Armored Strike Command to a live action movie. And me and a buddy of mine have written a movie script. It took us 3 years, and we're just out there. We're not really actively pursuing Hollywood or anything. We're both on the East Coast, and we got families and stuff, so it's not like we're out trying to get this thing made. But we're just out there trying to make awareness, and we've had some contact from some pretty cool people in the film industry that have looked over the script and gave us some pointers and stuff down the road. But we have fun with that, so you can find us on Twitter at MaskMovie. We have a podcast we do called Maskcast, and we've been going through all the episodes, and we kind of tie that into our script as well, and give you a few little hints as to how we made the movie into live action. And we got over 1,000 people on Facebook, so come out and join us, and it's a good time.
Nice. Yes.
Is that enough for you, or do you want me to keep going?
No, that is.
I got more.
That is well. Hey, listen. Maybe after the audience leaves, and we'll sit and talk a little bit more about the Mask Project and everything else that you're into. But that's great, and I appreciate you coming through and hooking that up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we had a good time. Saturday morning cartoons, whole bunch of Mask stuff, whole bunch of other talk. One more time with good feeling and cowboy boots. Jason Gross, ladies and gentlemen.
Step right up and don't be shy, because you will not believe your eyes. She's right here behind the glass. You're gonna like her, 'cause she's got class. You can look inside another world. You get to talk to a pretty girl. She's everything you dream about. Don't fall in love. She's a beauty.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Ryan, got your new cereal. How's it look, Duke?
All clear. Go for it. Hit it. Introducing G.I. Joe Action Stars brand cereal, a delicious part of this complete breakfast. Crunchy stars that taste great. So, for all you action stars...
Bye, Mom.
G.I. Joe Action Stars.
Papa Smurf! Gargamel's stolen all of our food, and I'm so hungry I could eat a house. I'll make something Smurf-delicious.
What's Smurfy magic? Look, new Smurf pasta from Chef Boyardee.
It's Smurfy good for you. There's even Papa Smurf's special sauce.
Wow, Smurfy shapes too.
You rats! Out-Smurfed again!
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
It's Smurfy good.
Yeah. Now that was the show. Saturday morning cartoons. Special shout outs and thanks to J Jizzle, JG, Jason Gross, at Soccer Flegels, at RD80S, Rediscover the 80s, Mass Cask, just, all around good guy. Appreciate the talk. He'll probably be on another show. We're gonna do another show together. You just wait and listen and see what it's gonna be about. Special shout outs to everyone that visits the site, the eclecticrelaxation.com, ladies and gentlemen. You should have known that by now. Chapman Runner, Corey Chapman, _fire clientele. Howard the Deck, _fire, mob. Tim Deal Double G, Daily Operation Get Got Get Green, Get Guap, Got Guacamole, Grits and Gravy, Goldenrod Goldbladder, the Click Nation podcast, and the Cold Slither podcast. Shouts to the last episode's guest, Classic Materia, from the Cold Slither podcast. Shout outs to a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, the General Geekery cast and the Single Simulcast and Operation Cubicle, and it's a ton, and a lot of them don't even listen to my show back, but it's okay. It's not tit for tat. Shout outs to Cal Marzo and Charles Anderson and Dave Nappy. Everybody that comments on the site, I appreciate it, because I truly believe next to nobody reads it. It's a new hip hop section of eclecticrelaxation.com. It's just eclecticrelaxation.com/hip hop. So it's going to be a lot of stuff going on over there. What have we learned today? We learned that running a marathon and a half marathon in mayonnaise baby vomit filled cowboy boots is way more advantageous than having a totally devoted wife who looks like a member of the Mask Brigade. We learned that I'm the only person on the planet that ever watched the Gary Coleman show and the kid with the broken halo. And that I'm probably the only one that's going to give a shout out to Cadbury and the Richie Rich cartoon. We learned that yellow ceramic Tupperware bowls will shatter if you drop them. The Cookie Crisp is the shit. We learned that that Jane Jetson is not the hottest chick in cartoons for some reason. That's very, very disturbing. We learned a lot of stuff. We don't have any iTunes reviews. And you know what? iTunes is shitting on my show right now. It's not even updating, but we got a way around that. So if you use iTunes or if you use the podcast app, just put in the direct feed for the Eclectic Discussion podcast, and you'll get where you need to go, and it'll update automatically in your app. Otherwise, use Stitcher or listen to the show directly from the website. You can stream it, you can download it, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you Google Plus it and retweet it and Facebook it and Pinterest it and Interest it and Tumblr and whatever the fuck. Spread the word. In the next show, definitely be here before you know it. And I know what it's going to be about. I'm not telling you, so you just got to listen. So if you follow me on Twitter, that's good business. At Eclectic and at Podcast EDP. Check that out. I think that's it for the show. Shouts to Nick Jew. She's cool. And shouts to Josina Anderson and her dimples. Shouts to Missy Copeland and her legs. And shouts to Kenya Moore and on Real Housewives. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the clips and I've seen her curves. So shouts to her. Shouts to Scandal, dope show. Boardwalk Empire, dope show. Homeland, even though Carrie messed it up, but still great show. No shout outs to iTunes and no shout outs to Jack Abbott on Young and the Restless because he took Newman Industries from Vic. Vic got to get it back. And okay, I'm done. Yeah. In the meantime, in between time, Devin.
Appreciation.
And with your wrinkled pussy, I can't be a lover.
Some are fancy on the outside. Some are fancy on the inside. Everybody's fancy. Everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. Boys are boys from the beginning. When you're born a boy baby, you grow up to be a bigger boy and then a man. Girls are girls right from the start. When you're born a girl baby, you grow up to be a bigger girl and then a woman. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. Girls grow up to be the mommies. Boys grow up to be the daddies. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. I think you're a special person, and I like your ins and outsides. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. I think you're a special person, and I like your ins and outsides. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine.